The Trinidad and Tobago government and opposition in agreement on who the next president will be. And in sport reports that Trinidad and Tobago may host this year's final of the Caribbean Premier League. I'm Ricardo Roberts and this is Caribbean in 10 for Tuesday, January 9th, 2018. I'll be back with the details after the break.
Did you know that a strategy has been developed to help improve the region's education and human resources?
You didn't? Well, the HID strategy, as it is called, will guide CARICOM in how it delivers quality education and training to the people of the region.
The strategy has been crafted by a group of experts called the HRD Commission.
Consultations have been done across the region to get your input.
Do you know that none of us will be left behind?
The HRD strategy is important to all of us, students, parents, and employers. It will prepare the region, especially the youth, for the 21st century economy and society.
The HRD strategy, unlocking Caribbean human potential.
Coming up on 21st Century. Today, a special focus on climate change. In the United States, changing houses to heal the planet. Argentina's winemakers cultivate sustainability. And in Morocco, women sowing the seeds for a better future.
Silently around us, all of our buildings are burning energy.
Trinidad and Tobago's opposition has thrown its support behind the government's nominee for the next president of the Twin Island Republic. Opposition leader Kamala Persad-Bissessar told a news conference yesterday that she has co-signed the nomination of Paula May Weeks for the position, which will become vacant at the end of March when Anthony Carmona demits office.
Having carefully considered the government's nominee in the person of Madam Justice Paula May Weeks, we took the decision to support the nominee of this government.
Madam Justice Paula May Weeks has been given 2 thumbs up and on January 19th will be declared this country's 6th president, the first female to hold the post. Just hours before the nomination deadline, the opposition called a news conference to say that 4 of its members signed on the dotted line, paving the way for Weeks to be the sole nominee.
I would say as of now, Madam Justice Paula May Weeks is the president-designate of Trinidad and Tobago.
According to Kamala Persad-Bissessar, the opposition raised 2 concerns about the constitutional requirements and wrote to the government over the weekend. With Weeks appointed a Court of Appeal judge in Turks and Caicos, the Constitution disqualifies anyone who is not an ordinary resident of this country for the past 10 years. It also disqualifies anyone who may be a voluntary citizen of another country or who may be under a declaration of allegiance. Persad-Bissessar says Minister Stuart Young assured the opposition that Weeks met all the constitutional requirements.
And on the same day, a decision was made about Trinidad and Tobago's new head of state. The country's 4th president, Professor George Maxwell Richards, died. The 86-year-old suffered cardiac arrest around 7:45 p.m. yesterday and passed away with his wife, Dr. Jean Ramjohn Richards, and his children, Maxine and Mark, at his side. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley said the nation has lost a much-loved son of the soil. He said Richards, who served in office from 2003 to 2013, carried out his duties with class and distinction, even as he remained grounded in his love for all things Trinidad and Tobago. The Prime Minister said flags on public buildings will be flown at half-mast in accordance with the directive of the Minister of National Security. With Richards passing, all of the Twin Islands' former presidents are now deceased. Meantime, Dame Sandra Mason has been sworn in as Barbados' 8th Governor-General. She replaces Sir Elliot Belgrave, who retired on July 1st, 2017 after serving for 5 years. Dame Sandra is the second female to be installed as Governor General in Barbados. Speaking at her installation ceremony in the Senate yesterday afternoon, the new head of state said she has accepted the position, fully aware that she is the beneficiary of the efforts of many courageous women who have gone before. But she also noted that she did not view her role solely in the context of her being a woman.
I am fully cognizant that in this office it is my duty to serve all who constitute Barbadian society, its men, its women, and its children. As we are all acutely aware, our country is facing a challenging period, both locally and in the global context. But as anxious as these challenges may make us, they have nevertheless provided us with opportunities to devise and implement major legislative, regulatory, fiscal, and operational reforms. How we emerge will hinge on our ability to regroup and draw on our collective strengths as a people to ensure that we are able to march proudly and gallantly into the future.
Stay with us, your Midday Sport is next. There are reports that Trinidad and Tobago may host this year's final of the Caribbean Premier League. The 6th edition of the region's most prestigious cricket tournament is set to bowl off in August, with the final set for September 9th at an unconfirmed venue. But Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board President Azim Bassarat says it's quite interesting that TNT would be bidding for the finals of the CLP or the CPL when it did not bid to host the Women's World Cup.
It's too early to hear that the CPL coming back, the finals coming back, and with the intentions of spending over $5 million, and the government couldn't get $500,000 to guarantee, and which we also said that we were willing to give off $500,000 from our sports subvention.
TNT has since held 3 finals of the CPL at the Queen's Park Oval in 2013 and 2015, and last year at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. The other 2 finals were held at Warner Park in St. Kitts. Jamaica Scorpions captain Nikita Miller heaped praises on his team despite his side losing to the Jaguars in the Regional 4-Day Championship. Set a 136 run for victory at Sabina Park on the 3rd day, Jaguars stumbled and started their way to their target before achieving victory 45 minutes before the scheduled close.
200 in the first innings was, a very well done job by my team, and to, after scoring 104 runs in our first innings, and to, make a game out of it like this, credit must go to the team.
And that's Caribbean in 10. Join us again at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Good afternoon.